A millionaire disguising himself as a worker takes a job at the hotel he owns and unexpectedly falls for the hotel manager. However, when he meets her family, he is stunned by a surprising revelation that changes everything. Liam Campbell sat in the dimly lit bar of an exclusive club, surrounded by the trappings of a life most people only dream of. Yet, despite all his wealth and privilege, a sense of emptiness lingered within him. At 27, Liam had gone through several relationships, but they all ended the same way. Women drawn to his money, not to the person he truly was. "I'm done with this, Dion," Liam confided to his closest friend, swirling his whiskey in a crystal glass. "I'll never find anyone who loves me for me." Dion, his friend since childhood, paused thoughtfully before offering an unexpected idea. "What if you went undercover and worked at one of your own hotels? No one would know you're the owner," Dion suggested. "That way, you could meet people who see you for who you are, not your bank account." Liam raised an eyebrow, doubtful. "Seriously? You expect me to pull off being just another employee at one of my hotels?" he asked, clearly unconvinced. Dion just shrugged, a grin spreading across his face. "Exactly. Nobody would expect a millionaire to be working the front desk. It's the perfect way to meet real people." Though skeptical at first, the idea began to take root in Liam's mind. That night, he couldn't shake the thought. By morning, he had made up his mind to give it a shot. Later that day, Liam approached his mother, Christine Campbell, in her office. She was a tough, no-nonsense woman who ran their hotel empire with unwavering authority. When Liam told her his plan, Christine's face shifted from surprise to worry. "Liam, are you serious?" she asked, clearly alarmed. "You've never worked a day in your life. How will you handle something like this?" she questioned. Liam sighed, his resolve firm. "Mum, I'm tired of people only seeing me as the rich guy. I want to meet someone who cares about me, not just my money. I have to try this." After a long pause, Christine gave in with a reluctant sigh. "You're an adult now, fully capable of making your own choices. But remember, every choice carries its own set of consequences. I hope you're ready to face them." He was tired of being noticed all the time. If he stayed at the hotel in his hometown, everyone would recognize him as the Campbell Hotel chain's heir. Instead, he opted for a modest, fully furnished apartment. It was a far cry from the extravagant mansion where he grew up, but the simplicity brought an unexpected sense of peace. As Liam settled into his new home, he took a moment to reflect on the path he was about to embark on. Tomorrow would be his first day working at the hotel, undercover as an ordinary employee, searching for something money could never buy: true love. With that mission in mind, he braced himself for the challenges ahead. Liam rose early on his first morning at the hotel, feeling a blend of nervousness and excitement. He dressed in the simple receptionist uniform, something he never imagined himself wearing. Gazing at his reflection, he barely recognized the person staring back. The heir to a luxury hotel empire, ready to experience life as a regular worker. Rachel, the manager, welcomed Liam warmly when he arrived at the hotel. In her 30s, with blonde hair and an approachable demeanor, she exuded both friendliness and professionalism. "Welcome to the team, Liam," Rachel said with a kind smile. "I'll give you a tour and introduce you to everyone." Liam followed her throughout the hotel, admiring the meticulous attention to detail in every room. Though the hotel was part of his inheritance, he had never actually visited this particular one. Rachel patiently explained the hotel's operations, answering all his questions along the way. "Here's the reception where you'll be working. It's a busy spot, so you'll meet a lot of guests and staff," she said as they reached the lobby. Liam smiled and nodded. "I'm looking forward to getting started," he responded. As they continued the tour, Liam met various staff members, but one person in particular stood out: Arthur, the maintenance supervisor. Arthur was a 58-year-old with a calm and wise presence. He shook Liam's hand firmly, offering a smile of welcome. "Glad to have you with us, young man," Arthur said. "If you ever need anything or just want to chat, I'll be around." Over the next few days, Liam adjusted quickly to the routine. Working at the reception desk, he interacted with all kinds of guests, learning to handle issues and provide exceptional service. Liam's constant interactions with various people started to reveal a more relatable, down-to-earth side of him that had always been overshadowed by his wealth. Over time, his friendship with Arthur deepened. They often found themselves talking in the hotel garden during breaks. Arthur took on a fatherly role in Liam's life, sharing stories and offering advice on life's twists and turns. "You know, Liam," Arthur began in one of their conversations, "life is full of surprises. You never know when you'll stumble upon something or someone who changes everything." Liam found himself reflecting on Arthur's wisdom, sensing that this new phase of his life was only beginning and that there was much more to discover. Arthur's counsel hit home, especially when Liam shared his frustrations about dating women only interested in his money. "Be patient, Liam," Arthur advised. "Sometimes the right person shows up when you least expect it, and when they do, you'll know it's real." Liam found reassurance in Arthur's words. Meanwhile, he continued to grow closer to Rachel, whose warmth and efficiency were qualities he admired. She led the team with both respect and kindness, traits that Liam found inspiring. The first few days at the hotel were challenging, but also incredibly fulfilling. For the first time, Liam felt like he was on the path to something real, something meaningful, far removed from the shallowness that often came with wealth. As another day of work ended, Liam felt grateful for the chance to be part of this new experience. He knew there was still a long road ahead, but for the first time in a while, he felt hopeful and excited about what the future held. Weeks passed, and Liam grew more comfortable in his new role at the hotel. He threw himself into his work at the reception desk, meeting guests and solving problems with the same level of care he had always given his family's business, but this time in a more personal, hands-on way. During this time, Liam and Rachel started spending more time together. What began as quick chats in the hallway or during meetings soon evolved into longer conversations during breaks and after hours, ranging from funny work stories to their hopes and dreams for the future. "Did you know I've always dreamed of seeing the world?" Rachel said one afternoon as they sipped coffee in the hotel's cozy little cafe. "No way, me too," Liam responded with a grin. "I've always wanted to travel, but I've never really had the chance to do it like a normal person, without all the fuss and attention that comes with my job." Rachel chuckled, her eyes lighting up with curiosity. "I think it would be incredible to travel without any pressure, just to really enjoy the journey itself." Liam felt something stir inside him, something deeper than just admiration for Rachel's kindness and professionalism. His pulse quickened every time she was close, and he found it impossible to look away from her. Rachel too sensed a shift. Liam was different from any other man she'd met before. There was a warmth and honesty in his actions that pulled her in. She felt at ease around him, like she could truly be herself. But neither wanted to acknowledge their growing feelings, both too cautious to risk the friendship they were building. Arthur, who always had a sharp eye, noticed the change in Liam. During one of their chats in the garden, he said, "You seem different, Liam. There's a light in your eyes I haven't seen before." Liam exhaled, smiling. "I think you're onto something, Arthur. I'm starting to have feelings for Rachel." Arthur gave him a knowing smile. "Remember what I said about patience? Real love doesn't need to be rushed. Let things happen in their own time." As the days passed, Liam thought a lot about Arthur's advice. He knew he was falling for Rachel, but he also understood that he had to respect her pace. He didn't want to push anything. He wanted it to be real and natural. One evening after a long day, Liam and Rachel took a stroll along the beach near the hotel. The gentle sound of the waves and the cool night breeze created the perfect atmosphere for a heart-to-heart. "You know, Liam, I'm really glad you started working here," Rachel said, gazing out at the ocean. "You've brought a fresh energy to this place, and I think everyone can feel it." Liam couldn't help but grin, a sense of joy washing over him. "I'm just so glad to be here. This place, these people, and especially you. It's all been incredible," he thought to himself, as they continued to walk in comfortable silence, each caught up in their own reflections. For Liam, this moment was more than just nice. It felt truly special. He found himself connected to Rachel in a way he had never experienced with anyone else. Their feelings for each other were deepening by the day, but they both understood that they had a long journey ahead. Liam kept replaying Arthur's advice in his mind, knowing that patience and honesty would be key. Meanwhile, Rachel was beginning to sense that this new hotel employee might be more important in her life than she had initially realized. When Liam finally decided to ask Rachel out, he was torn between excitement and nerves. Weeks of spending time together and growing closer gave him the push to take the leap. He couldn't keep ignoring what he felt for her. One bright morning, he spotted Rachel at the hotel cafe, enjoying her usual cup of coffee before her shift began. With a confident smile, he walked over to her. "Rachel, are you free tonight?" he asked, trying to sound casual, even as his heart pounded in his chest. The question caused her to look up, clearly surprised. "Yes, I am." "Why do you ask?" Rachel replied, curious. "I was wondering if you'd like to go out with me, maybe catch a movie and grab dinner after." "What do you think?" Liam said, anxiously waiting for her reply. Rachel's face softened into a smile, and she felt a warm flutter in her chest. "I'd love to, Liam." "Does 8 o'clock work for you?" she asked. "Perfect," he said, feeling a wave of relief. The day flew by, and by 7, Liam was already getting ready for the date. He picked out a casual shirt and jeans, something nice but not too flashy. When he arrived at the hotel to meet Rachel, his heart skipped a beat when he saw her. She looked stunning, in a simple but elegant dress that brought out her natural beauty. "You look amazing, Rachel," Liam said, clearly impressed. "Thanks, Liam. You look great too," she replied with a smile. They took a cab to a small, quaint movie theater downtown. They ended up watching a romantic comedy that, to Liam's surprise, was just what the night needed. They laughed, shared popcorn, and joked about the funniest scenes. There was nowhere Liam would have rather been than by Rachel's side. After the movie, they headed to a cozy little restaurant nearby. The warm ambiance and soft music created the perfect setting for the rest of their evening. They shared stories about their lives, dreams, and the small things that brought them joy each day. "I've always wanted to run my own business," Rachel admitted while enjoying her dessert. "Maybe a cozy cafe or a little bookstore, somewhere people could feel like they're at home." Liam listened intently, captivated by her passion and determination. "I can totally picture you doing that," he said, reaching out to hold her hand. "You have a gift for making people feel welcome." "Thank you, Liam." "That really means a lot," Rachel replied with a smile. Time seemed to fly, and before they realized it, it was time to leave. Rather than heading straight to the hotel, they decided to stroll through the city a bit longer. They eventually found themselves in a quiet little square near Rachel's place, illuminated by soft lighting. The distant sound of laughter and chatter gave the area a cozy, inviting feel. "Want to sit for a bit?" Rachel suggested, gesturing toward a wooden bench beneath a grand old tree. Liam nodded, sitting beside her. The cool, refreshing night air surrounded them as they sat in comfortable silence, simply enjoying each other's presence. "I had a great time tonight, Rachel." "You really mean a lot to me," Liam said, looking deeply into her eyes. "I had a great time too, Liam," she responded, her smile warm. "You're really special to me." They sat under the stars, feeling the moment's quiet magic. Liam leaned in slightly, and Rachel gently closed her eyes, welcoming the kiss that would Liam the start of something new and beautiful. The kiss was soft and sweet, and as they pulled away, both of them knew something had shifted between them. A new chapter in their lives was beginning, one they were eager to explore together. As Liam walked home, he felt a happiness unlike anything he'd ever experienced. He smiled, recalling Arthur's advice about true love and how life has a way of surprising you, and Rachel was indeed a wonderful surprise. The days following their first date were filled with joy and discovery as Liam and Rachel grew closer. Their bond deepened, and Liam felt a happiness he had never known. He knew Rachel was special, and he wanted to learn more about her, especially her family. On a sunny afternoon, as they walked through the square where they shared their first kiss, Liam decided it was time to open up his heart. "Rachel, I'd really like to meet your father. I feel like getting to know more about your family is important for us both," Liam said, gently squeezing her hand. Rachel hesitated for a second, taken aback by his sudden request. Her father had always been a big part of her life, and introducing him to Liam was definitely a big deal. "I think it's a great idea," she replied with a smile. "My dad is a great guy. I'm sure you two will hit it off. How about this Sunday?" Liam nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. When Sunday finally rolled around, Liam couldn't help but feel his heart race as he got ready to meet Rachel's father. He caught a cab to her house, each passing block making his heart beat faster. Once there, he took a moment to compose himself before ringing the bell. Rachel opened the door, wearing a lovely floral dress and beaming at him. "You look amazing, Rachel," Liam said, trying to steady his breathing. "Thanks, Liam. Ready to meet my dad?" she asked, her eyes twinkling. "As ready as I'll ever be," Liam replied, though it was clear he was a bit nervous. They walked inside, and to Liam's surprise, sitting on the couch was Arthur, his colleague from the hotel. Arthur immediately broke into laughter as he spotted Liam. "I told you, Liam, life, sure, throws some curveballs," Arthur said, still chuckling. Liam stared in disbelief, managing a smile. "What are the odds?" he asked. Arthur explained. "When my daughter was looking for her first job, I sent her to the late Lucas Campbell. She's been there ever since." Liam was shocked to learn that Arthur had known his father all along. Arthur added with a grin, "You know me. I always say we should keep our personal lives separate from work." As lunch continued, Liam was lost in thought. The ties between him, Rachel, and Arthur were far deeper than he ever realized. After lunch, he knew he couldn't keep things hidden any longer. Gathering them in the living room, Liam spoke up nervously. "Arthur, Rachel, there's something I need to come clean about." "Arthur, you mentioned knowing Lucas Campbell, the hotel owner, right?" "Yes, I did," Arthur confirmed. Liam took a deep breath before revealing, "Lucas was my father. I'm the heir to the hotel." Rachel looked shocked and hurt, feeling as though Liam had been keeping something from her. Liam hadn't mentioned anything before, but now he dropped a bombshell. Arthur, on the other hand, burst out laughing again. He asked to see Liam's ID, and when Liam handed it over, Arthur's laughter only grew louder. "Why are you laughing, Arthur?" Liam asked, genuinely confused. "You look exactly like your dad when he was your age," Arthur said, a nostalgic grin spreading across his face. "I've heard that before," Liam admitted, still trying to wrap his head around everything. After the surprising news during lunch, the tension was thick. Rachel quietly slipped out to the garden, clearly overwhelmed by what she had just learned. Liam realized he needed to address things before they spiraled out of control. He followed her outside and found her sitting on a bench, visibly shaken. "Rachel, please hear me out," Liam said softly as he sat beside her. "I know I should have told you earlier, but I wanted you to get to know me for who I am, not because of my wealth or status. I hope you understand." Rachel sat quietly for a moment, taking deep breaths as she absorbed his words. She finally looked at him, still unsettled, but with a hint of understanding. "Liam, I get why you did it. It must have been tough, having people approach you for all the wrong reasons. I just need some time to process all of this." Liam exhaled in relief, glad that Rachel was willing to listen. "I just want to be honest with you from now on. I never wanted to lie. I just needed the chance to be myself and find someone who would love me for me." Rachel smiled faintly, sensing the truth in his words. "I believe you, Liam. We'll figure this out together. Just no more secrets, okay?" "Agreed," Liam replied, feeling the weight lifting from his shoulders. They went back inside where Arthur was waiting, his expression warm and understanding. Liam realized there was still more to uncover and felt ready to dive deeper into the truth. "Arthur, could I ask you more about your connection with my father?" he asked, feeling more comfortable now. Arthur nodded and motioned for Liam to sit. "Absolutely, Liam. Your father, Lucas Campbell, was an extraordinary man. I met him when I first started as a manager at the hotel. He made it a point to know everyone who worked for him, treating them like family. That's something you don't see often, but it was what made him special." Liam leaned in, eager to hear more about the man he admired. "Lucas had a clear idea of how he wanted the hotels to run," Arthur continued. "His belief was that the secret to a successful business lay in treating people right, whether they were guests or staff. He shaped me into the person I am today." Rachel, who was quietly listening, felt touched hearing about the warmth and integrity of Liam's father. "Your dad was an incredible man, Liam," she said softly. "And it's clear you've taken after him in many ways," Arthur added with a smile. Liam felt a mixture of pride and humility hearing that. "Thanks, Arthur," he said. "Those words really mean a lot to me." The conversation kept its easy, relaxed flow as Arthur continued to share funny and inspiring memories of Lucas Campbell. As they talked, Liam felt like he was slowly getting to know his father better, connecting with the legacy he left behind. At one point, Arthur asked a question that caught Liam off guard. "And how is your mom, Christine?" he inquired. "Christine is my mother. You know her?" Liam replied, a little confused. Arthur nodded. "Yes, I do. But I'm afraid, Liam, there are things I can't tell you." "You'd better ask her yourself," he said with a hint of mystery. This puzzled Liam, but he decided to take Arthur's advice and talk to his mother about it later. By late afternoon, when Liam and Rachel were saying goodbye to Arthur, there was a fresh sense of hope in the air. The truth had come out, and despite the hardships, they had gotten through it together. Liam knew there were more challenges ahead, but he felt ready to face them, especially with Rachel by his side. As they walked back to Liam's place under the night sky, he squeezed her hand. "Thank you for always being there for me, Rachel. I know we can face anything together," he said. Rachel smiled, feeling the same. "I believe that too, Liam. We'll take it one step at a time." In the days that followed, Liam kept up his work at the hotel, and his relationship with Rachel grew stronger. But he couldn't shake the thought of what Arthur had said about his mum. One day, as they strolled through the hotel garden, he decided to bring it up. "Rachel, I want you to meet my mother," Liam said. Rachel felt a bit anxious but nodded. Of course, Liam. I think that sounds like a great idea. With a foundation of reconciliation and understanding, Liam and Rachel embarked on a journey to build their future grounded in honesty, trust, and love. They both recognized that meeting Liam's mother would be an essential milestone in that process. It was a bright and calm day as Liam and Rachel got ready for their visit to the Campbell family home. Rachel felt a bit anxious, but Liam comforted her by holding her hand firmly, knowing how significant this moment would be for them. "Everything's going to be just fine, Rachel. My mum's going to adore you," Liam said with a reassuring smile. "I hope so. I'm nervous, but I'm ready," Rachel replied, doing her best to stay calm. They hailed a cab to the airport and caught a flight to the city where the Campbell mansion was located. The flight wasn't long, but it gave Rachel enough time to think about what was ahead and for Liam to prepare himself mentally for introducing his girlfriend to his mother. Once they landed, another cab took them straight to the grand Campbell mansion. Rachel was stunned as she saw the sprawling estate with its lush gardens and stately architecture. Liam felt a mix of emotions, both nostalgic and excited, as he returned to his childhood home. When they rang the bell, Christine greeted them with a warm smile, pulling Liam into a big hug. She had clearly missed him. "Liam, my boy, it's wonderful to have you here," Christine exclaimed, her eyes twinkling with joy. "Mum, this is Rachel," Liam introduced her. Christine looked at Rachel with kindness in her eyes. "It's a delight to meet you, Rachel. Liam has shared so much about you," she said, extending her hand. "The pleasure's all mine, Mrs. Campbell," Rachel said softly, feeling a bit shy. "Please, call me Christine," she responded with a smile. They stepped inside, where they were led to the living room. A beautifully set table was ready for lunch, reflecting Christine's tasteful touch. Over the meal, the conversation flowed easily, and the atmosphere was both elegant and welcoming. Christine made an effort to learn more about Rachel, asking questions about her family and her job at the hotel. In return, Rachel was curious about how Christine and Lucas met. "So, Christine, how did you and Lucas meet?" Rachel asked, genuinely interested. Christine smiled as she reminisced. "Lucas and I met at the hotel. I was working as a receptionist and he was the owner, always around, keeping a close eye on things. From the very beginning, we understood who we were, but he never allowed his status to interfere with our connection." Rachel and Liam exchanged surprised looks at Christine's openness. She continued, "At first, it was overwhelming to grasp the weight of his responsibilities, but I quickly realized his intentions were pure. And that's how our love grew, built on honesty and trust." Rachel felt a strong bond with Christine, admiring her resilience and sincerity. Liam, meanwhile, was eager to hear more about his parents' love story. "Christine, I want to thank you for making me feel so welcome," Rachel said with a warm smile. "I can tell where Liam gets his kindness and honesty from." Christine took Rachel's hand and gave her a gentle smile. "Thank you, Rachel. I'm so glad Liam has found someone like you. You have my full support." After lunch, Christine took Liam and Rachel for a stroll through the mansion's gardens, sharing more stories about Lucas and the family's history. Rachel felt more and more accepted and part of the family. Later, they gathered in the cozy living room, where Christine served tea and desserts, creating a warm, inviting atmosphere. "Why don't you stay the night?" Christine suggested. "We have plenty of guest rooms, and it'll give us more time to chat. Plus, you can rest before heading home." Liam glanced at Rachel, who smiled and nodded. "We'd love to, Mom." "Thanks so much," Liam responded. As night set in, the three of them continued sharing stories, laughing together. Rachel felt increasingly at ease, and Liam was grateful to see his mother and Rachel growing closer. As they got ready for bed, Rachel quietly said to Liam, Your mom is wonderful, Liam. I'm really happy to be here. Me too, Rachel. This means a lot, Liam replied, squeezing her hand. The night at the Campbell mansion was peaceful, filled with deep conversations that only brought them closer. Liam, inspired by the stories and wisdom from his mother, began thinking deeply about his own future with Rachel. The following morning, after a quiet breakfast in the garden, Liam led Rachel to the same spot where he used to play as a kid. He knew this was the perfect place for the next big step. Rachel, there's something that's been on my mind ever since we got here, Liam said, holding her hands as they strolled through the flowers. What's on your mind, Liam? Rachel asked, smiling but curious. Liam paused, taking a deep breath as emotions bubbled up. My mom and dad had a relationship built on honesty, respect, and trust. I see that same kind of connection between us. Since you came into my life, you've brought so much joy and purpose. I can't imagine my future without you in it. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, making a home together. Rachel stopped in her tracks, her eyes welling up with happy tears. Liam knelt down, pulling a ring from his pocket. Rachel, will you marry me? He asked, looking up at her with love and hope in his eyes. Rachel gasped, her hand covering her mouth in shock and emotion. Yes, Liam, of course I will, she said with excitement. Liam gently slid the ring onto her finger, then stood up and hugged her tightly as she cried tears of joy. From a distance, Christine had been watching, and she rushed over to celebrate, tears streaming down her face. I'm so thrilled for both of you, Christine cried, pulling them into a big hug. With Christine's blessing, they dove into wedding planning. Liam and Rachel decided to hold the ceremony at the same hotel where they first met, a place that held special meaning for them. Plans came together quickly. Christine was deeply involved, eagerly helping with every little detail. Rachel chose a simple yet elegant gown, while Liam picked out a classic suit that fit his style perfectly. I want our wedding to really reflect who we are. Something personal and filled with love, Rachel said, as she and Liam went over the details with Christine. Liam couldn't agree more, feeling more connected to her with each passing day. With Christine's support and inspiration from his parents' love story, they sent out invitations and locked in the date. The hotel was prepped for the big day, with decorations that mirrored the elegance and warmth of their love. That night, after a busy day of planning, Liam and Rachel sat in the garden, gazing up at the stars. I can't believe we're getting married at the very place where we met, Rachel said, resting her head on Liam's shoulder. It's the perfect spot to start our lives together, Liam replied, softly running his fingers through her hair. I can't wait to see you walk down the aisle. And I can't wait to see you waiting for me, Rachel said, beaming. With Christine's blessing and support, Liam and Rachel continued making plans for their future, knowing they had a strong foundation built on love, trust, and respect. The wedding preparations were just the start of a journey filled with adventure and unforgettable moments. The day of the wedding finally arrived, bringing a mix of excitement and nerves. The hotel was beautifully decorated, capturing the simple elegance Liam and Rachel wanted. White flowers and soft lighting filled the room, creating a magical and inviting atmosphere. Friends, family, and colleagues started to arrive, greeting one another with big smiles and warm hugs. Christine was radiant as she handled the last-minute details, welcoming guests with her usual warmth and charm. In the bride's room, Rachel looked stunning in her simple yet elegant gown. The white dress showcased her natural beauty, and her friends surrounded her, helping with the finishing touches. Arthur walked into the room, looking sharp in his tailored suit, and his eyes welled up as he saw his daughter. "You look beautiful, Rachel," he said, his voice full of emotion. I'm so proud of you." "Thank you, Dad," Rachel responded, hugging him tightly. "I'm so glad you're here with me." Meanwhile, in the groom's room, Liam was getting ready, adjusting his suit. Dion, his childhood friend and best man, stood next to him, helping with the final touches. "Ready for this, Liam?" Dion asked, grinning. "I've never been more ready," Liam replied with a confident smile. The ceremony started right on time, with all the guests taking their seats in the beautifully decorated hall. Soft music played, and everyone turned toward the entrance. Arthur walked Rachel down the aisle with pride and emotion. Liam's eyes filled with tears as he watched her approach, his heart racing with joy. "Take good care of her," Arthur said, placing Rachel's hand in Liam's. "I promise I will," Liam responded, his voice thick with emotion. Christine, watching the scene, was flooded with memories of her own wedding to Lucas, feeling a deep connection to the moment. The ceremony was simple, but deeply meaningful. Liam and Rachel exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to love, honor, and care for each other for the rest of their lives. "With this ring, I make you mine," Liam said, as he slid the ring onto Rachel's finger. "With this ring, I make you mine," Rachel echoed, following suit. As they were officially pronounced husband and wife, the room erupted in cheers and joyful tears. Liam and Rachel shared a kiss, sealing their love and commitment with hope for the future. The reception was lively, full of laughter, dancing, and memories in the making. Christine gave a heartfelt toast, reminding everyone about the value of genuine love and honesty. "May your lives be long and filled with love and understanding," she said, raising her glass high. Arthur, with teary eyes, also offered a toast, expressing gratitude to everyone for celebrating the love his daughter and Liam shared. "I always wished for my daughter's happiness, and today that dream has come true." "May God bless you both," Arthur said, overwhelmed with emotion. Liam and Rachel expressed their thanks, feeling incredibly grateful for the love and support of those around them. The celebration continued well into the night, Liaming the start of their new adventure together. Surrounded by family, friends, and colleagues, Liam and Rachel embarked on their journey, prepared to face life's challenges with love, trust, and mutual respect. The wedding was just the beginning of a journey filled with adventures and unforgettable moments. After the beautiful ceremony, Liam and Rachel headed off on their honeymoon, choosing a quiet, nature-filled getaway. They wanted somewhere peaceful, where they could unwind and enjoy each other's company, away from the rush of everyday life. Their chosen spot was a cozy countryside home, nestled between mountains and peaceful rivers. The house had been in Liam's family for years, brimming with history and old stories. When they arrived, the caretaker welcomed them, handed over the keys, and wished them a wonderful stay. In the first few days, Liam and Rachel explored the scenic surroundings, took long hikes, and soaked in the calmness of the countryside. One afternoon, while exploring the attic of the house, they stumbled upon an old wooden chest covered in dust and spider webs. "What do you think is in here?" Rachel asked, intrigued. "Let's find out," Liam said, as he carefully opened the chest. Inside, they found faded letters, aged photographs, and what appeared to be old family keepsakes. With care, they started going through the items, uncovering hidden stories from their family's past. One of the first letters they came across was from Liam's father, Lucas, to Christine. Written many years ago, the letter described the challenges of building their hotel chain and the strong love that kept them going. "Liam, look at this," Rachel said, holding the letter up for him to see. "The letter was from your father to your mother, expressing how deeply he loved her and how they had endured countless challenges together." Liam read every word with focus, feeling a stronger connection with his dad. Lucas's words were filled with both passion and determination. and Liam gained a newfound respect for the man who had laid the foundation of the family's legacy. As they dug deeper into their exploration, they stumbled upon old photos of Christine and Lucas at different stages of their lives, pictures of their wedding, travels, and key moments in the growth of the hotels. "They really went through so much together," Rachel said, visibly touched. "It's amazing how their love conquered every hurdle." Liam agreed, moved by the tenacity and love that had seen his parents through the years. But the biggest revelation was yet to come. Among the letters, they discovered correspondence between Arthur and Lucas. The letters uncovered Arthur's close friendship with Lucas, revealing how Arthur had been a trusted advisor during pivotal moments in the business expansion. "I had no idea Arthur and my father were this close," Liam said, astonished. "It makes sense now, why we feel so connected to him," Rachel relayed, her eyes bright with emotion. "It makes everything even more meaningful, Liam. Deep friendship and respect have always linked our families." As they continued to sift through the chest, more letters and photos surfaced, revealing hidden struggles Rachel's family had endured. There was a letter from Arthur to Lucas, detailing the challenges of raising a daughter on his own after losing his wife, and how Lucas had been there during the toughest times. "My dad used to tell me about the struggles we went through, but I never knew Lucas played such a big role in our lives," Rachel said, tears brimming in her eyes. Liam embraced her, feeling an even deeper bond with her. "Our parents were true friends and partners. This explains why we've always felt so close from the beginning." The discoveries they made during their honeymoon only strengthened Liam and Rachel's connection. Knowing their families shared a long, intertwined history of love, friendship, and overcoming adversity made them appreciate their own relationship even more. They spent the rest of their honeymoon reflecting on the stories they had uncovered and made a pact to carry forward their parents' legacy in their own lives. Liam and Rachel realized that, like their parents, they could face any obstacle with love, trust, and respect for each other. Returning from the trip with hearts full of new insights and a stronger connection, they were ready to take on the future together. The honeymoon had profoundly impacted both Liam and Rachel, deepening their love and commitment. As they settled back into their daily lives, everything felt richer, more meaningful. Every day became an opportunity to nurture their love and strengthen the bonds with their families. But just a few weeks after they got back, Rachel started to feel different. At first, she chalked it up to adjusting back to their routine, but soon the signs were too clear to ignore. With her heart racing, both nervous and excited, she decided to take a pregnancy test. "Liam, there's something I need to tell you," Rachel said, walking into the living room where Liam was resting after work. "What's going on?" Liam asked, noticing her serious tone. Rachel took his hand and with a tearful smile said, "I'm pregnant, Liam. We're going to have a baby." Liam stood there, stunned for a second, as the words sank in. His eyes welled up with happy tears, and he pulled Rachel into a tight embrace. "This is incredible, Rachel. I'm so happy. We're going to be parents," he said, kissing her repeatedly. The news of the pregnancy brought overwhelming joy, not just to Liam and Rachel, but to their entire family. Christine was over the moon about becoming a grandmother, and Arthur couldn't hide his happiness knowing his daughter was starting a family of her own. "This baby is going to bring so much joy to all of us," Christine said, hugging Rachel with tears in her eyes. "It's a fresh start for both of our families," Arthur added, smiling. As they prepared for the baby's arrival, Liam and Rachel began making plans for their future. They wanted to raise their child in a loving, humble home, filled with the values they both treasured. Liam, wanting to stay grounded and connected to people, decided to continue working at the hotel, even as they anticipated the new chapter in their lives. I want our child to understand that hard work matters and that humility is key. I agree, Liam. We need to give him the best version of ourselves, which includes teaching him the value of work and respect, Rachel responded, gently stroking her growing belly. During her pregnancy, the couple focused on getting everything ready for their baby. Liam stood by her through every moment, offering constant support. They turned a spare room in their apartment into a cozy nursery, carefully choosing soft colors for the walls and adding personal touches. Every kick from the baby, every little movement in Rachel's belly was a moment of pure joy for them both. Liam often placed his hands on her belly, speaking tenderly to the baby, filled with love. "I can't wait to meet you, little one," he would whisper, smiling when the baby kicked back. Doctors' visits and ultrasound appointments became special highlights in their routine. Seeing their baby on the screen made them feel even more connected and excited for what was to come. As the months rolled on, Liam and Rachel felt their bond deepening. This pregnancy didn't just Liam the beginning of their journey into parenthood. It also made their relationship stronger. Stories of love and resilience from their families guided them through the preparations. Christine and Arthur were always there, offering their love, wisdom, and support. Christine, in particular, loved to share funny stories from when Liam was a baby, filling Rachel's days with laughter and helpful advice. Liam was always bouncing off the walls as a kid. "Get ready for sleepless nights," Christine teased, with a knowing grin. Meanwhile, Arthur stepped in to help Liam set up furniture and get the house ready for the baby. He was already showing how proud and devoted a grandfather he would be. "I'll always be here for you and my grandbaby," Arthur said, his voice filled with emotion. As the due date approached, Liam and Rachel felt more confident and prepared. With their family's support and the love between them, they knew they could handle whatever challenges came their way. With hearts full of hope and love, they looked forward to the arrival of their little one, ready to embark on this new chapter as parents. Life was about to change in the best way possible, and they were eager for every step of the journey. The last days before their son's birth were filled with anticipation and excitement. Each day seemed to drag on as they waited for the big moment. And finally, on a quiet morning, Rachel felt the first signs of labor begin. "Liam, I think it's time," Rachel said, gripping his hand firmly. Liam, already prepared for the moment, grabbed her bag and helped her into the car. They drove to the hospital, where a kind and attentive medical team awaited them. The next several hours were challenging, yet filled with love and support. Liam never left Rachel's side, holding her hand and offering gentle words of encouragement. "You're doing amazing, Rachel." "I love you," he whispered, his heart pounding with emotion. Finally, after hours of labor, the baby's first cries echoed in the room. Liam and Rachel gazed at the tiny miracle in their arms, their hearts swelling with joy and gratitude. "He's perfect," Rachel said tearfully. "Yes, he is," Liam agreed, equally emotional. "Welcome to the world, Lucas Arthur." They chose to name him Lucas Arthur, a tribute to their fathers, Lucas from Liam's side and Arthur from Rachel's. Both men had played pivotal roles in their lives, serving as sources of love, wisdom, and strength. Naming their son after them felt like the perfect way to honor their legacy. It also served as a constant reminder of the deep bond that connected their families. The news of Lucas Arthur's birth spread quickly, bringing immense happiness to everyone. Christine and Arthur rushed to the hospital to meet their grandson as soon as they could. "He's beautiful," Christine said, cradling little Lucas Arthur in her arms. "I'm so proud of you both." "He's got Liam's eyes," Arthur commented emotionally, "and Rachel's strength." The birth of Lucas Arthur brought both families even closer together. Everyone rallied around to help care for the baby, offering endless support and love. Christine and Arthur visited frequently, cherishing every moment with their grandson and lending a hand wherever needed. Liam and Rachel swiftly adjusted to their new routine, finding joy in every small milestone Lucas Arthur reached. The sleepless nights and early struggles were met with patience and a lot of love. "We're in this together," Liam said one night while soothing the baby to sleep, "and that makes it easier." "Yes, we're a team," Rachel replied with a smile. The months flew by, each day filled with new joys. Lucas Arthur's first smile, first words, and first steps were all celebrated with excitement and emotion. Family gatherings became even more special, with everyone gathered around Lucas Arthur. Christine and Arthur were devoted grandparents, always ready to tell stories and play with their grandson. "He's the light of our lives," Christine said, watching Lucas Arthur play in the yard. "A true symbol of a fresh start for all of us," Arthur added with a grin. The atmosphere around Lucas. Arthur was one of love and gratitude. Liam and Rachel were committed to raising him in a home filled with respect, kindness, and affection, instilling the values they'd learned from their own parents. As they watched their son grow, Liam and Rachel felt closer than ever. They knew they could face anything together, and the love they shared was the strong foundation their family stood on. With the arrival of Lucas Arthur, a new chapter unfolded in their lives. The future felt bright and full of promise, and they were ready for every part of the journey ahead. With love, unity, and thankfulness, they embraced this new beginning, knowing the best was yet to come. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more stories like this. Leave a like and comment your thoughts on the story below. See you in the next video.